Level 1 charging looks like the easiest option. Just plug into a wall, but what you think it gives you overnight and what it actually gives are two different things. If you own an EV or are thinking about one, you have probably heard the level 1 charging is fine you're commuting. If you own an EV or are thinking about one, you have probably heard about level 1 charging, which is fine for commuting. That's partly true, but partly dangerous if you misunderstand the numbers. Today I'll show you the real watts, the real miles per hour, and the real trade-offs with plain math and real-world examples, so you can decide whether that wall outlet is a convenience or a bottleneck. Spoiler, it works sometimes, but it fails loudly when you need it most. Hello everyone, I'm Shayan, an engineer specialized in electric vehicle development. What level 1 actually is, the basics. Level 1 charging uses a standard 120 volt household outlet and the portable cord that often comes with the car. Typical level 1 setups deliver roughly 1.2 to 1.4 kilowatts of power, which translates to about 3 to 5 miles of driving range per hour of charging depending on your car's efficiency. That means a full overnight session of 8 to 10 hours usually only gives you 20 to 50 miles of range, enough for lots of daily commutes, but not for bigger needs. This is the Department of Transportation and Energy guidance on level 1 performance. But there's a common misunderstanding. People assume plug-in overnight equals to full battery next morning. That can be true for plug-in hybrids or very short commutes. But for modern electric vehicles with plus 200 miles packs, level 1 will often only restore a small fraction of capacity overnight. The math is simple. 1.44 kilowatt times 8 hours gives you 11.5 kilowatt hour. At 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour, that's about 40 miles. Not bad if you drive under 40 miles a day, but not enough if your daily round trip is plus 80 miles. Why the current and circuit matter? Most US household circuits are 15 or 20 amps breakers. And safety rules mean continuous draws should be limited to about 80% of breaker rating. Practically, that means level 1 charging usually runs around 12 amps on a 15 amp circuit, which is why real delivered power is often near 1.4 kilowatt. If you try to draw more, say use an adapter to push 15 amps continuous, you risk non-stripping or worse. That's why most manufacturers and electrical guides recommend level 2 charging for serious daily charging needs. The installation guides walk through these safety currents practices. But people also underestimate how house wiring and voltage drop reduce delivered power. Long extension cords, older wiring, or sharing a circuit with other appliances can drop the actual charging current below the nominal number. That turns 3 to 5 miles per hour into maybe 2 to 3 miles per hour in real usage. So if your garage is fed by an older panel or you plug into an outlet already used for other loads, expect less than the textbook rate. The practical output, miles per hour and daily reality. If level 1 gives you around 3 to 5 miles per hour, here are quick rules of thumb. Plug in for 8 hours and expect about 24 to 40 miles added. Plug in for 12 hours and expect about 36 to 60 miles added. For a 60 kilowatt hour EV, typical mid-range car, that's only a fraction of full capacity. You'll need multiple nights or a level 2 for fast refills. Energy.gov and EPA materials confirm these ranges and times. But don't stop at averages. Your car's efficiency matters. A very efficient EV might gain closer to 5 to 6 miles per hour from level 1, while a heavy SUV might only get 2 to 3 miles per hour. So always calculate using your car's specific kilowatt hour per 100 kilometer or miles per kilowatt hour rating. If you drive a long commute, level 1 becomes a trickle that won't keep pace with your use. So why level 1 is sold as good enough and why that's misleading? Dealers and product page often says, if your commute is less than 40 miles, a level 1 cord is fine. That statement is true in a narrow sense, but it omits the edge cases and real-world behavior that trip up owners. Many people don't consider nights away, unexpected errands, battery degradation, or winter heat losses. Those variables turn a fine level 1 setup into a daily stressor. Transportation.gov and federal guides note level 1 is often fine for short commutes, but they also show how long it takes to reach higher state of charge levels, sometimes 40 to above 50 hours for a full charge on a big pack. But the bigger problem is expectations. People assume overnight charging scales. It doesn't. The difference between enough for daily life and enough for a spontaneous road trip is huge. Expecting level 1 to act like a level 2 or DC fast charging creates an ownership mismatch and often leads to disappointment, late arrivals, or the need for expensive workplace or public charging solutions. When level 1 actually makes sense, the scenarios. Level 1 works great when you drive under 30 to 40 miles per day and have reliable nightly access to the same outlet. It's great when you own a plug-in hybrid or PHEV which has a small battery pack and lower recharge needs. Or if you live in a small household with predictable patterns and can tolerate slower recovery. These use cases are backed by government guidance and workplace charging studies, which show level 1 can be an economical option for low use drivers, and often a pragmatic start while installing level 2 is planned. But level 1 fails when your battery is large, around 60 to 100 kilowatt hour, and you regularly deplete a lot of it. You have irregular schedules or multiple drivers needing the car. You live in cold climates where heating reduces range and overnight charging must replenish more energy. You need quick turnaround charging for high mileage days. These failure cases are common and explain why level 2 installations are now the recommended standard for many EV buyers. Level 1 looks free. Just use your existing outlet, but it has hidden costs. It ties up a household circuit for hours. It might require a dedicated socket to avoid noise tripping, and it can slow household appliances if other loads run simultaneously. On the flip side, level 1 is cheap to deploy immediately, requires no electrician in many cases, and is often enough for low mileage commuters. It's a low friction entry point into EV ownership. EnergyStar and federal guides highlight both the low cost and the low power trade-offs. But the real balance is this: level 1 saves money upfront but costs convenience and time. Level 2 costs more to install but returns convenience and flexibility that most EV owners want. How to know the right choice? 3 quick questions. Ask yourself 3 simple questions before you rely on level 1. How many miles do I drive on day? How many miles do I drive per day on average? If it's under 30 to 40 miles, level 1 might be enough. Do I need flexibility or fast turnarounds? If yes, you need level 2. Is my home wiring modern and can I dedicate an outlet? If not, level 1 will be unreliable. If you answer no to any of these, level 2 or workplace charging is safer bet. Federal workplace charging guides and energy department tools explain the tipping point for moving to level 2, typically when daily mileage or convenience needs arise. But here's the practical tip every buyer should use. Start with level 1 only if your worst case day still fits within what level 1 gives you overnight. If not, plan now for a level 2 install. It's cheaper and less stressful than retrofitting under pressure later. Level 1 charging is a low cost, low power way to charge an EV. It gives roughly 3 to 5 miles per hour or about 24 to 40 miles overnight in typical conditions. But it's not a one size fits all solution. Use level 1 if your lifestyle truly matches its limits. But don't pretend it's same as the level 2. If you want freedom, fewer constraints, and faster turnarounds, invest in a level 2 home charger or rely on a workplace or public level 2 station. Trusted federal resources and industry guides back this up and offer calculators so you can check the numbers for your specific needs. If you want to learn more about the battery management system inside the electric vehicles, how they calculate state of charge, state of health, and other characteristics, how they flag failures, how they understand many of the signals inside the car, you can click on the link in the description. Thank you.